Deaf Reach School has a big part in my success of my journey in the humanitarian sector. These kids, when they see that through our support, we become their voice, they create hope that they could be successful, they can gain education, or they will have food on the table. So these are the things when you see happening in real life, my God, man, I wish that every donor has the opportunity to see the full circle, but they can't. And that's why they need a trusted platform like Humaniti and others to reach those needy people.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of the Muslimi Experience. I'm your host, Brother Boonaa Mohammed. Here is a show where we get to talk to really fun, interesting Muslims from all walks of life, learning about their lives, learning about different lessons that we can take away from them. And here we are joined by an amazing guest. We have him in studio, our brother, Ovais Iqbal. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Brother Boonaa.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, finally, I'm
Yes.
able to come sit on the seat.
Yes. Normally, you're used to being in this chair.
Yes.
Normally, you, mashallah, you've hosted your own shows, GeoTV, and you've had, many different experiences online. So not very often, we get to see you and learn more about you. So I thought this would be a great experience, alhamdulillah. So for people that don't know you, we'll talk a little bit about your background, about your story. And I think there's a lot of interesting tidbits we can take away and implement in our own lives. So I know you from your work as a humanitarian. I know you from your work at the Humaniti and from different charities. You've fundraised, from what I estimate, over $50 million, mashallah, tabarakallah, across your fundraising career. But you must have started somewhere.
Yes.
So let's talk about your introduction into the space of humanitarian work. Were you always a person who was interested in giving back? Were you always a person who was involved in this field? How did you get introduced to it?
Yeah, so basically I come from Memon family. So Memon community.
Oh, you said
in
enough.
Pakistan.
Mashallah.
Said enough, right?
We know the Memons, mashallah.
Subhanallah, people needed to know.
Yeah.
So I came from, actually I was born and raised in Karachi.
Okay, mashallah.
From a Memon family. And Memon family is known for two things. One is business.
Yes.
And the other thing is giving back.
Mashallah.
So this was somehow was in my blood from my parents, from my grandparents. So even when I was growing up in my hometown, Karachi, I would be involved in activities in the mosque, the associations, the sports, and won't be an introvert. I would be an extrovert.
Right.
Not too much, but kind of somebody who would like to go out, learn, and test new things. That's how I kind of grew up in Pakistan, and lovely. The parents and everybody else contributed towards it. So I came to Canada in year 2000. That's another whole story how I came. Probably I will tell you today or at another time.
Inshallah.
I need to create a room for podcast number 2.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hold some stories.
Yeah, we need to have some suspense, some build-up.
So let's fast forward it.
Okay.
So you asked me how I entered in the humanitarian
Field.
sector or
Yeah.
field, you want to call it. So two aspects. One is the fundraising aspect. So what happened was I was an executive member of Mississauga Muslim Community Center,
Nice.
located at Dixie and Dundas.
Right.
So every year, in the month of Ramadan, these mosques and these centers would try to raise money. But then they come up with wrong products or not appealing product. As an example, they would raise money for wazu khana or ceiling leaking or AC 30, 40, 50K type big item bills, right? So they were concerned, what do we do? So alhamdulillah, that night, just the night before Taraweeh started, an idea floated in my mind. And I said, okay, how much your expenses are for the whole year? So the expenses were, let's say, whatever, $100,000. Then I said, why don't we divide this into 365 days? So a donor can donate for the whole day. So we divided, it came down to $394 a month, $394 per day into 365 days. So all we needed were 365 people to cover the entire year expenses. And that idea from day one all the way up to Eid, we sold it like hotcake.
Mashallah.
Boom, 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 mashallah. And then year after year, that masjid benefited from that strategy. And that became my first foot into simplifying a complicated message and appealing to the audience at their level and contribute back to the society or back to the institution. So that was 2012. And then from 2012 all the way up to 2025, alhamdulillah, I'd been able to help many organizations all across North America, even in South Africa and UK, to define their fundraising strategies and raising funds on stage.
So now this is a very important component, right? Because I think a lot of times people don't understand really the charity world. They don't understand how, even to get on stage and speak to a crowd, that's a very taxing thing to do. It's a very exhausting, very mentally draining, right? But also having strategy, because a lot of times masajid, Islamic organizations, we're just kind of like, we'll spray and pray. We'll
Yeah, yeah.
let's just throw something out there. Let's see if it works. Right? But
No.
there's not a lot of times thinking and strategy brought to that table. So what was that like? I mean, that idea, you brought that idea to the masjid. It worked well. What was it must have then lit a bunch of light bulbs in your mind. If I can do it for this, then maybe this will apply to different entities, different projects.
So I had this, the knowledge and feelings from learning from people, because I used to work at Cisco Systems as well, senior director, sales engineering. So we come from business, sales, and marketing background. So at least we know how to address the people, right? So this way, this first strategy obviously that led into many different aspects of fundraising career, right? And then every organization, every NGO has a different goal. And then you redefine or refine those goals and create the product which can easily be sold to the donors, right? So that basically definitely became one. But on the other side, I mean, even at Cisco, we're so lucky to work in companies like those corporate environments who also give you 5 days, 10 days off from work if you want to do something good for the society, good for the community. And I always use those 10 days to give back, whether I went on a field visit in Syria, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, many other countries. And when I would go there, I would not only raise money, but also raise awareness to the people, Muslims and non-Muslims alike.
Right.
And there was a story, if you probably know, I think you also went to Pakistan and you
Ooh, yes.
visited Deaf Reach School. You remember?
Yes, I do, of course.
So that Deaf Reach School has a big part in my success of my journey in the humanitarian sector. These kids have become so much blessings for me that when I became their global ambassador in 2017, I raised so much awareness and I was blessed to raise money. Even at Cisco, they honored me as Global Community Hero Award
Wow.
across 75,000 employees.
Mashallah.
They had to vote for 8 Bridge Award winners, and one of which will become the community hero for that year.
Wow.
And it was a voting based system. So it's not like, somebody's handpicking. So Alhamdulillah, that came to me as a blessing of representing the Deaf Reach School
That's beautiful.
in Pakistan, Alhamdulillah.
SubhanAllah, that speaks to the fact that whenever you are involved in charitable work, rizq comes from, places you never even imagined.
Never
right?
even imagined.
And, that's a beautiful example. That school, actually, I had a chance to visit. You're talking about children who are living sometimes below the poverty line, not having access to education sometimes anyways, but then also being deaf. And that barrier that comes with, even employment in the regular world, right? Like people don't sometimes see them as people that can give them jobs and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously I visited Pakistan with you. We were there together, alhamdulillah, in Karachi, and you gave me a beautiful tour, and I got to see a lot of the, beautiful street culture. What is it?
You bought some shalwar kurta.
I did. I bought a few. Very nice. But what do you realize, or what do you see as the advantages / disadvantages that maybe children here might have versus children there, because we talk about there's poor people here, poor people there, but it's a difference, right? In terms of even access to education, access to healthcare. What are some of the discrepancies you've seen visiting both places?
No, it's a big difference. Obviously, the part of the world we come from, either India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and maybe some of your countries, the poverty level is very different than you could imagine here. I'm not saying that we don't have challenges here. I mean, anybody's life could change in a matter of time. Imagine somebody's husband die, or somebody is diagnosed with a cancer or something. Their life changes in a matter of minutes, right? And definitely we need to have support system here. But there, back home, people are struggling for food. People are struggling for education. We have very minor percentage of people, those who go to school. So generation after generation, the story is not only repeating, it's even degrading. And that's where we need to, come in, especially the Pakistanis, if I'm talking in the Pakistan context, that country basically gave us the foundation, and we came here and we competed with all the communities, and we, built our name, our brand, and we made so much out of, our careers and families here. So it's time for the people, Pakistani people living abroad, to give back to their country. And that's what my role at Humaniti is, to engage Pakistanis within Pakistan and outside Pakistan for work of khair in the country, whether it's education, whether it's sustainable, employment, whether it's whatever it might be, access to clean drinking water. We create those platforms so then the Pakistanis outside Pakistan with trust, they can relay their love back to their country people.
What are some of the major challenges you found in the country in terms of what are the major areas of help? Is it healthcare? Is it water? Like, what are some of the real pain points that you've seen in the country?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, if we pick top three, then certainly healthcare is number one. Because if you're healthy or if your father or family members are healthy, you can focus on earning money. So healthcare is definitely one. Number two is access to clean drinking water. Because if people are drinking a contaminated bacteria type water, then obviously it's creating more healthcare, burden on the healthcare system.
Right.
And number three is education, skills development. Because the amount of population we have in the country, if we guide them in the right way, meaning give them the skills and education and job placement, they don't need your donation money. They need that encouragement. They need that, we need to show them the path. And that's what exactly, not only Humanity, we also encourage a bunch of other NGOs that, they need to focus on some of these key areas to
I've
create
seen,
sustenance.
education seems to be, I think, one of the best ways to eliminate the cycle of poverty, right? Because once you're given an education, you can excel in work, you can figure out other ways. But I've noticed also that there's almost like a different emphasis on education in that side of the world, right? Here, like our kids go to school, we tell them, do well,
So
get
normal.
good grades.
Yeah.
But there, it's like school is life, right? And grades mean a lot. Is there a difference in the way that maybe the parenting is being done? Like, why does school seem so much more important there than here?
Because see, the parents, they have seen that some of them are successful, most are not, because they did not have the opportunity to spend the right amount of time while they were going through school. So they want to make sure that their children are having the right opportunity. They would, if they can afford, they will send them for tuition, make sure their grades are right. Because one thing in people's mind there is very clear, that if you don't study, you will never be successful. This may not be the case. For example, in my case, my parent had thought about the same thing about me, right? That I need to be an engineer or doctor or something.
Yeah. Typical.
But unfortunately, I was a college dropout.
Oh my gosh.
But
Astaghfirullah.
in my family, among my siblings, probably I was the most successful
Right.
earlier in the age and also up until now.
Yeah.
Not that I'm encouraging people, those who are watching, to not to go to college, not
Stay
to
in
go
school,
to
kids.
university,
Yeah.
stay in school.
Yeah.
So that's why people are very much concerned, because that's the only route they see for their kids to be successful if they get the right education.
We got to talk about this educational journey of yours,
We
because how did you become a college dropout? That's an interesting side of your life that maybe people didn't know about that. Like how did that experience
That's
come about?
funny, man. I mean, I by heart I wanted to be a chartered accountant because I'm a numbers person.
Right.
In Pakistan, when you do grade 10, that's we call matriculation. After grade 10, you go to college for 2 years, then you go to university. So when I did grade 10, I did grade 10 with science subjects. I could go to medical, I could go to engineering, but I decided to go to commerce subjects. So commerce is basically kind of dead end thing. If you don't become a chartered accountant or something good, then you have no way to return and go to engineering or science. So I took that step.
Right.
So I went to first year, second year, and then later for Institute of Chartered Accountant of Pakistan, there would be an aptitude test. So I went for this test, did not prepare well, and I failed that test. And this aptitude test would happen only once a year. So now what do? My opportunity is gone. So I had a choice that I would go and take admission in Bachelor's of Commerce, which I kind of hated it because everybody was doing it. I was not there. I did not take commerce for BCom. I took commerce for chartered accountant.
Right.
Then there was a good friend, his name Khurram, school friend. He told me that there is a IT institute in Karachi, those who are from Karachi at Nipa Chorangi. And the institute is run by, ex-army people, so nice discipline, English environment, co-education, So my friend said, let's go check it out. If that school is nice, and it's 6 months right now to take admission in BCom, so why not we take some diploma courses there? I said, let's go. So we went to check out the place, and I really liked it. I got admitted. 6 months later, probably my friend who brought me there, he left. So I started loving the IT side of the world. So I did not even go back to BCom. I kicked the university. I stayed there. So I finished 1 year diploma, and this class was going to second year for higher diploma, then third year software engineering degree. So when we finished first year, we entered second year. We created a student study chamber, a association of students. Somehow Brigadier Saab gave us the approval, and we became a chamber. And then one day, one of our teacher came to our class and he says, you know what, I'm going to have a surprise test today. And everybody was afraid because our GPA could have been affected if we are not prepared.
Right.
And teacher was not in a good mood that day, and he was so upset. He went to the principal, Captain Saab, and he complained that these kids are this. So Captain Saab came, the Brigadier Saab was not there that day, and he removed all the paper from the board and says, this class is disbanded. The whole class, 2 classes are finished.
Wow.
Wow, man. And then everybody's afraid because in Pakistan, as you mentioned, education is a big deal. How now do you communicate this to your parents?
Oof.
That has happened in the class.
That's a death sentence.
Yeah. So 6-7 days quiet. And since I was part of the student chamber, so we got 20-30 students collected, and we said, you know what, we are going to fight this. And we would take our credits to another college, and let's forget about this one. This is how they're treating us. So we were young, 17, 18 years old, you want to conquer the world,
Yeah.
right? And that group activity, now I see it was not so good. So then what happened? Then Brigadier Saab said, whoever will bring their parents and apologize will go back to the class, and who would not, we will expel them. So then I was talking to my parents, and my father spoke what I wanted him to speak, whether it's good or bad. We went and we met with the Brigadier Saab, and then the result was that you're no longer needed in this school.
SubhanAllah.
So I was kicked out.
Wow.
Whatever arguments we had, because we were placing our point of view on principal's point of view. So they decided to kick me out. So I came out. Most people went back. Now, what do I do? So this is where then, at that time in Pakistan, Microsoft released Microsoft Certified Systems Engineering Training. 6 exams, very difficult. At that time, it would cost you $4,000 in 1998.
Oof.
$4,000, and my father could not afford it. So I went to my grandparent, may Allah mercy on him.
Ameen.
So I asked him, I want to do this. So he asked me one question, can you do it? I said, I will. So he lent me the money, $4,000 at that time, and I spent 4 months, and I finished the exams, everything else. Probably I was first 20th guy in the country.
Wow.
So I finished it, college dropout. Since that day, Boonaa, so that's what I'm trying to tell people. Money is not related to degree. The risk is coming from
Allah. Ar-Razaq.
Ar-Razaq.
Allahu Akbar.
Sometimes it takes long time for you to realize this fact. Since I lived through this, so at the age of 19, the moment I passed my 6th exam, a week later, I was making 15, 20 times more than my father.
Allahu Akbar.
19 years old kid. Just to put things in perspective, I used to make $5,000 a month at the age of 19 in Karachi.
Wow.
$5,000 is
Big money.
hell lot of money. In today's context, would be 50K
Wow.
a month. So then there's another funny story. So a few months later, sorry, I'm speaking probably too much.
No.
Few months later, the moment I finished this course, start teaching. Teaching was one of my passion.
Okay.
Even in first year, second year, I used to teach accounting. One subject which I loved the most was accounting, hands down, eyes closed. So I used to teach. So I started teaching. So there was a company called New Horizon from Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
They came to Pakistan. They wanted to hire a bunch of people. So I went to this 5-star hotel for this interview process. I was the young guy, 19 years old. Rest of the other were electrical engineer, computer engineers. So they interviewed 40, 50 people. They selected 3. I was one of them.
Wow.
MashaAllah. 5,600 Riyal was the salary offered
Wow.
at that time. So the guy said, okay, you 3 are selected. Bring your passport tomorrow. And then a week later, go to this employment agency. They will process your paperwork. I went to this employment agency. The guy said, your name is not there. I said, what do you mean? I was selected. He looked up and he says, well, Saudi Arabia, the minimum age to employ is 21 years. And you are 19. So drawback.
Wow.
So I was not able to go to Saudi.
Wow.
But I made way more money than Saudi in Pakistan. Then anyways, I applied for Canadian immigration. Another story starts, which you allow me, I will tell you about it. So this was actually the journey of a college dropout. Then this always bothered me. Even when I came to Canada, I taught at Seneca College, designed some courses, got into the IT field, spent 17 years at Cisco Systems, became Cisco certified internet network expert, touched all the heights, alhamdulillah. But one thing was always bother me, what do I tell to my kids? Go to university, they will tell me, Baba, you did not even go. So I used to
Yeah.
reach out to universities here and there. Can you take my experience and give me shorter way
Uh-huh.
to finish my degree?
Right.
The Canadian institutions would tell me, no, you gotta do full 4 years.
Mm.
Gotta spend 50K, 4 years do the degree. But the day came in 2006, no, 2013.
Mm.
I came to know about a university in America in Utah, Western Governors University, an accredited one. So they would look at your experience and exams you have passed, and they may give you some credit.
Mm.
So they gave me credit of 18 courses, and I had to do 22 more courses:
Okay.
English, physics, maths, biology, geography, all the difficult ones.
Oof.
Nothing IT.
Wow.
So I did 2.5 years worth of load in 6 months, because they allow you to do as many exams you want in one semester.
Mm.
So in 7 months, I fast tracked and I finished my degree, and I got Bachelor's of Computer Science. Not that I needed it to increase my salary or my
Right.
job, but just to show to my kids that nothing is impossible. It has to hit you here,
Mm.
then you can climb the mountain.
Mm.
So that was my exercise. Now, from college dropout to a degree from a US institution.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah.
So now having that opportunity to get the degree,
Yeah.
to show your children, hey, look, school is, and I think it's great. You know, my mother went back to school at an older age. My mother actually got her degree in social work like when she was like almost 40 something, you know? And I think it's always a good sign to show children as well. And as adults, we're always learning. We're still improving. We're still learning new skill sets. What did you learn from your journey, even during that time as a student representative and being, you know, because really you're an advocate even then, right?
Yes.
What did you learn about taking that skill set of advocating, of speaking on behalf of people, to now your world in the humanitarian work? Because now you're an advocate in a different way, right? You're advocating not just for their rights, but for their ability to survive, essentially.
Yeah, 100%. So to my kids, to my students and people, I tell them, learning the communication skills is absolutely important. Whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, if you're not able to communicate your own case, your own opinion, it will be very hard for you to be successful, right? And you will never be a voice of anyone. So, so it's not that introvert person cannot learn how to communicate. It's just you need to apply the right strategies. You need to surround yourselves with the right people, those who would help you to communicate. So the advocacy, the things that I learned from people around me during those time, and slowly building upon it, that definitely helped me where I am right now, alhamdulillah. That whether it's fundraising, whether it's hosting, whether it's doing TV show, or even solving a problem at home, even talking to your kids. If you cannot, peel the onion, I mean, as they say, right? If you cannot, remove the noise from the core issue, you cannot address the issue, right?
Right.
So that's all part of communication, listening and addressing issues. So that's what I tell my kids, my wife, and people around me, man. This is so important.
Communication, I think also, you know, picking the right things to almost not risk things on, right? Like, because you, for example, advocating on behalf of those students at that time, you now seeing, you know, the education, health crisis in Pakistan, right? Like focusing on topics which are important, which actually will bring benefit to people. Your work as a humanitarian so far, mashallah, has taken you across Asia, across Africa, across so many different terrains. And I've been talking a little bit about, you know, your background, but what have you seen in the field? We talked a little bit about Pakistan, but like in these other countries, because some people have never, they just see you on ads, they maybe raise their hands in a fundraiser, but they don't really understand the disparity between the life of somebody maybe in Syria or in Pakistan or in Bangladesh versus the life we have here. Like what are you seeing on the ground? What are you witnessing from, you know, do you have any testimonial stories you've heard from kids even in Pakistan in terms of what keeps you motivated? What keeps you doing the work you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, testimonial, the stories would be never ending. But if I start from my own perspective, when I go visit the field, whether it's Afghanistan, Pakistan, or whichever place, the first thing first is the complaints from your life gone away. Because then the issues you see for yourself in your life, they are not issues anymore. Because all your challenges are luxury-oriented challenges.
They call it first world problems.
When you see those people in suffering, you say, you know what, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and the challenges you have at home, you just don't pay attention to it because they're not challenges. So this is one for your own learning and growth. The other thing is that then you start thinking, you know what, people are doing different kinds of jobs, right? Let's say somebody work at the bank or maybe other IT company or maybe some other places. Yeah, they're doing a job, which is also good, and it's also ibadah, right? If the intention is there. But look at us, that we have been chosen, alhamdulillah, that we become the voice of these people. We engage people. We take their love, whether it's money, time, skills, or whatever it might be, and we take it to these people. So every moment, every activity of ours is super purposeful. So I love saying that I want to be a purposeful person, right? I love being purposeful. So the credit to these people, that they are there. May Allah mercy on them. But they have made us look hero, although we are not hero. But it's them, not even donor. If the person who is going to receive it does not exist, what can you do?
SubhanAllah.
So as I said previously, the deaf reach school kids, they made me look hero, man. Alhamdulillah, I reached so many successes and many other things. So going back to your question, when we see these children, when they see that through our support and through we become their voice, they create hope that they could be successful, they can gain education, or they will have food on the table, or their father, mother can be cured. So these are the things when you see happening in real life. My God, man, I wish that every donor has the opportunity to see the full circle, but they can't, and that's why they need a trusted platform like Humaniti and others to reach those needy people.
Yeah, I mean, even when we went to Pakistan, one of the things that really kind of shocked me was the level of poverty, but also the way people are okay with living. Like, and you realize when you don't have much, you have to deal with what you have, right?
Yeah.
But you would see a small home, maybe a room even smaller than this, with generations, mom, dad, grandma, children, babies, everyone sharing, living together. You see the immense amount of, like, even the way in which food is contaminated, water is contaminated, like they're eating and drinking things which, I wouldn't feed that to my animals, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you see the water supply that they're using and you think to yourself, subhanAllah, people actually live like this.
Yeah, people live like this and they're still thankful.
And that's the crazy part. Right. They still say Alhamdulillah.
See, even if you see this, that they're still thankful and they're living the life, it's a big lesson itself.
Yeah.
Right? You and I and all the people, we want to give them the similar life standard as we have, right? But whatever they are in, situation they are in, they're still saying Alhamdulillah. But they're looking for support, and that's why, in this sector, this charity sector, the NGO sector, we need qualified people, those who understands the world challenges. They're not going in circles, right? They're innovative. They're bringing new ideas of sustainability, or as you mentioned, breaking the cycle of poverty. If you don't understand this concept, how could you apply it? So people, those who are gaining good degrees and good education, less likely they think about this charity sector. Why? Because probably this sector cannot pay them well, cannot help them grow. And that's where we all need to change that narrative, that this sector needs the top talent, not the leftover talent. So once we bring the top talent, yes, they will cost us more, but they will be more effective, more innovative, where we can help solve people's problem. As Shoaib, the founder of Humanity, says, I want to touch 1 billion people in X number of years. Right? You can only do it when you have innovative ideas and strategies.
Yeah, and I think, you made an interesting point around the talent that we have at the table. You see it sometimes in madrasas, right? Like, who gets sent to madrasas is normally the bad kids, right? It's like, if you're disruptive in school, bismillah, go study Quran, right? So sometimes our Islamic work, it's like reserved for the worst amongst us, right? Or the people that maybe they are not doing well in other capacities. I've heard stories in some of these countries where, like, it's literally the kids who do the worst grades. Okay, you failed math, become Maulana now.
Yes,
it's like, subhanAllah. It's like,
what is this service?
Yeah, like, well, why also are we sending the worst, right? What do you feel about this category? I mean, this field of humanitarian work, do you find that it is somewhat of people that are, coming into it for maybe lack of experience or lack of capabilities in other fields? And why is it important that we do create a space where we are attracting the best talent, we are paying them correctly, we are, because we have so many talented Muslims who are going now working with Microsoft and working with Apple and Google, and we're almost draining our own talent pool to support other entities and companies that actually don't benefit us in the long run.
I totally agree. And as I mentioned before, I would not generalize it, but you look around yourself. Like, we meet with NGO people all day in Pakistan, outside the world, in different countries, especially in Canada as well. I mean, when you communicate with these people, less likely you come across learning that somebody has come from KPMG, Cisco, Microsoft, RBC, those big brands where they have learned 10, 15, 20 years of corporate culture, sales, business, marketing, strategies. All you would find is in most cases is people those who started their career in the charity sector. They don't even have a view of another big NGO, another big corporation. That's all they have learned, right? So that's why I see and I feel that we are unable to grow the way this sector should have grown because of the lack of the talent. And let's say if my son who graduates or your daughter graduates from UFT or a university and they should be compensated at let's say 70, 80, 90K based on their skills. And if this sector is offering them 40, 50K to start, what would you suggest to them? Unless they're so passionate about doing this regardless of the money, or otherwise you would tell them, you know what, beta, this is not right.
Right.
Naturally, look at ourselves, right? So why do we think the same way for others' children? So that's why, either in some cases we get people, those who cannot find jobs in other sectors, or maybe some lazy aspect of the personalities. There are good talent out there, those who are working in the NGO sector, but we need to flip the percentage. Right now, let's say if it's 80-20, that should be 20-80. So 80% should be the high performing top talent who refuses to go to other big corporation because this opportunity was so attractive. Because the way we need to build the narrative is not only that you will make your living, but you would sleep with so much satisfaction every single night because you're not serving the corporate America, you're serving the humanity while you're making your living. And we need to show them the growth opportunity.
I mean, I do think that, even this field, the one that you're in, it's one of those fields that you really have to be passionate about it.
There's no other way.
Yeah, I don't think
That's number one.
Even the money may not always make sense, right? But I think if you really love what you do, and I think the most successful people in the non-for-profit sector are people that, they would do this work if they were getting paid or not. It's something that they're passionate about the opportunity, right?
But then we're concerned about the abusing them, right?
Yeah.
Because if the organization sees that Boonaa is so passionate and Boonaa deserves 100,000, but let's give him 30K because he's crazy passionate.
Right.
Then there comes up another challenge of abusing the talent, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the leaders have to see. So for example, if you go to corporations, every few years they would do a fair market assessment of salary bands. That this experience, that should be this salary band. Why they do it? Because they need to be competitive in the industry. Is this sector doing the same? Or is this sector comparing only among themselves because they are all bad? So they're comparing among themselves. Or we need to compare with other sectors. So then Boonaa should know that what you're compensated based on your experience, the industry, and the right top talent.
Right.
So then and then in this sector, the other challenge is you need to have very thick skin in this sector.
Oof.
Because a lot of people will have so many accusations on you. You know what, you do this or you do. This sector, people need to know you're doing 3 jobs. There is no 9 to 5. Do you remember how many weekends you've spent with your kids? How many weeknights you've spent with your kids?
Yes,
If you work for a corporation, you go 9 a.m., you come back 5 or 6 or 7.
Clock in and out.
Sunday, Saturday is shut. Long weekends are yours. But look at us.
Ramadan, when we're supposed to be relaxing at home.
Subhanallah.
That's the busiest time.
So then this is how do we, and then so when you look at this, if you don't pay well to the people, it's an abuse because there's no 9 to 5. They rather go out and work. So if somebody is passionate, we need to be respectful on the other end. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, so I'll play the devil's advocate, right? Which is that people say, well, this is sadaqah money, this is donation money. We should be paying people the least amount so that the more resources will go to the people in need.
Yes.
Right? What would you say to that? If
I have a very strong argument to this. And that's where we have to be bold to change this narrative, right? The reason is this. Let's say if they say, well, the most money should go to the beneficiary, that's our target too. But the question is, if you do not have the right talent, the right people in place, let's say one group builds a strategy of dispersing this pool of money to this project, right? And then this is another pool of top talent, which creates a very unique, innovative, effective strategy to use the same $100,000 towards this project, which can create an impact of $1 million, versus this group, which is low cost, creates a strategy and create an impact of 100,000 of 100,000. So what would you think?
Yeah.
It's very simple. I mean, why the companies are hiring top guns? Because people buy from people. An institution means nothing. It's all about talent. If you have a right talent on a bad institution, in a matter of months, the bad institution will become good. If you bring bad talent to a good institution, in a matter of months, that good institution will go bad. So there should not be any compromise. I think when these people, those who have these thinking, if they just think about their daughter and son, would they work at a half price at an NGO?
Right.
Their answer to themselves would be no. So why they expect other people's kids to work in this sector at a half price?
Well, I mean, again, to play the devil's advocate,
yeah.
which I never want to be the advocate of shaitan, astaghfirullah, but I think some of this methodology also applies to masajid, right? Sometimes as Islamic organizations and institutes, a lot of times it's run by volunteers, right? People that actually, they're working 9 to 5 and then 6 p.m., mashallah, they're joining the masjid board meeting. And so even sometimes I find there's no continuity because people are just volunteering their time. They're not as invested. They'll maybe serve on the board for a year and the next year they're gone. And you lose some of that institutional knowledge as those people move on in life. How do we apply that same standard, which now we're trying to apply to the, humanitarian world of bringing the top talent? How do we apply that across the board to da'wah, to masajid, to Islamic organizations?
Very
What does
good
that
question,
look like?
and some people may not like my views on this. So what I've learned in my 20, 30 years of career, IT, non-IT, humanitarian, is when it comes to volunteer activities, whether mosque president or same type of other board positions, we really do not do interview process. Whoever has a louder voice, whoever has more people supporting him or her,
Right.
they become this role. But let's say if I have a small business or a business or my corporation, if I need to fill a role, what do? We do a job posting.
Yeah.
We do thorough interviews. We pick the right person for the job. But when it comes to volunteer and these type of jobs, we don't do the process for the most part. And hence why you see our progress. So first thing first is the person has to be capable of that job. Whoever is capable should be selected. And there has to be a process. Even mosque president, mosque secretary, even volunteers is fine. I mean, we encourage people to come and learn. But once you pass through the volunteer stage and now you have to hold a position, then the right person has to hold the position. Behavior, mindset, talent, what value this person will bring to the cause. If you don't do all these things, then nobody's questioning. These people are not accountable anyways.
Right.
But then who's suffering? The ummah. The community is suffering. And that's what I say everywhere. No matter paid job, unpaid job, the right person has to be at the right place.
Well, how do we apply that in a situation where, a lot of people do feel as though because it is a non-for-profit, because it is a humanitarian role or a job or a masjid, they almost feel like, well, just take whoever you get.
Yeah.
How do you be selective? They say beggars can't be choosers, right? But like, how do we also be selective, be intentional with the people that are around the table, but also utilize the resources that might be limited?
Yeah. So I would say every arrow does not hit the target. That's what I say in Urdu. English is probably not sounding.
Say it in Urdu.
Sir, har teer nishane pe nahi baithta.
Allah.
Meaning not every arrow hits the target. So what I'm saying is we cannot be so perfect or aim to be perfect. What I'm saying is we need to bring some sort of balance. Even in the NGO sector, I do understand that NGO sector may not be able to pay top dollars as the corporations, but we have to come close and show the opportunity for people to grow. Similarly, in the not-for-profit sector, other places in the community, there has to be some way of at least having this realization that not the person who's the founder deserves to be president. Not the person who is giving more time, more weekends should become the president. There should be a factor of the talent, the factor of the capabilities and capacity to do the job.
This is a good point. I think sometimes, we've gotten into a habit, I think as a Muslim community where, we are expecting masajid to just do everything for us. Sometimes your parents, they'll drop their kids in madrasa. They expect the parents to, the madrasa to just teach them everything, right? There's a level of accountability we all have to have, a level of, I think, effort that we all have to bring to the table as an ummah, right? To support different capacities. Where do you see the future of humanitarian work and let's kind of stick to humanitarian work, but where do you see that field evolving? Where do you see some innovative opportunities? Like, what are you doing now with this group, with Humanity, that you
Yeah, yeah.
feel will be sticky for other people in the future? Something that you think might, become a trend or something? Like, is AI a
Yeah.
part of that world? Like, what do you see some of the future trends?
Yeah, so before I talk about the future trends or about the AI, sometimes what keeps me up at night is the continuation. So let's say if I selfishly think about Pakistan, as I am Pakistani and I represent the group as country head Pakistan, what I see is the first generation here in America, Canada, is still worried about their relatives and what's happening in Pakistan.
Mm,
But what about my children? Maybe the percentage will go down from, let's say, 80% worrying to 10, 20, 30%.
mm,
And after their children, so right now, let's say we raise awareness, we raise money from Pakistanis living abroad.
mm,
Next generation, the generation after, they don't care.
mm,
They don't even know their relatives. Pakistan is just like any other country. If disaster hit, yeah, they would open up their pocket and give something.
mm.
So that pool is going to shrink in terms of raising awareness and raising money, because the parents probably, they're so busy making their ends meet, they're not having their children connected to the work of khair and giving back to Pakistan.
Mm.
You see my point? They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
even go visit the country
Right.
every year, every X number of years, right? So they're
Mhm.
distancing themselves slowly, slowly. It's going to be quite far. So we, as leaders, we need to create solutions to this problem.
Mm.
So now, how do we bring the innovation into this, right? So, as an example, you look at Humanity. A lot of people know us through our digital faces on digital.
Mhm.
So you need to meet the customers where they are.
Mhm.
So this young generation, they're not sitting in front of TV. They're
Mm.
sitting in front of a smartphone,
Mhm.
Insta, Facebook, whatnot. So, however, the world is evolving. The NGOs, these social enterprises, they need to evolve.
Mm.
So we can be top of mind for them.
Right.
What's happening in Pakistan, what's happening around the world. Look at this whole unfortunate episode of Gaza,
Subhanallah.
right? I mean, one thing that it has done, besides many other unfortunate things, is the young youth has gone engaged in this whole thing so heavily.
Mm.
I mean, I did not have to teach my kids the whole story of Palestine and whatnot.
Right.
My kids are fully up to speed.
Yeah,
I mean,
mashallah.
my God, man, this is amazing.
Mm.
Right? So this is where we need to bring innovative thinking, give these kids an opportunity to go to the field, participate, so then they feel the responsibility that we are not just here to build our careers
Mm.
and make money. Uh, we're also here to support the causes, to be the support line for the people, those who are in need.
Right.
That's our obligation. That's our duty.
Mm. Do you think that in the future, where people are becoming more global citizens, right? Especially North America, where sometimes we do lose our culture, right? The longer you're here, your kids will start marrying other people, and their identities will become more hyphenated, right? Is there a worry that we will become so self-obsessed with the Muslims and the community here in the West that we'll forget the third world? Is that a fear of yours, you think?
I don't think we will forget the third world as long as people like us are focusing on the third world, because we're not shutting ourselves from all the social media and all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these people, there is no firewall. Everybody is watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
The moment we stop focusing on the third world, then yes, we will have them forget about the third world.
Mm-hmm.
So, so basically, I think I'm not saying that they're going to be forgetting the third world, but there is a potential of slow fading,
Mm.
slow fading, right? If these people, because Canada, America, Europe is their home now
Yeah.
for your kids,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
my kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just imagine, it's like, I mean, I hear this sometimes. People joke that people in America, Canada, they say, we don't need you, Buna. We are here for your kids.
Mm.
We don't need you.
Subhanallah.
They're ours. Because you came at the age of 15, 20, 21. You are so strong holding to your values and to your thinking and to your way of working.
Mm.
But beyond you, if not them, whoever coming after them, they're completely ours. So their strategy is 50, 100, 200 years forward.
Subhanallah.
So that's what we need to worry about. That
Mm.
whatever we can do in our power
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the legacy continues, and you're only hold responsible whatever the power you may have, right?
Mm-hmm.
If something else happened in the future, you're not responsible to. But at least the parents should not just consider, if I send my kids to Islamic school, that is the only way to success.
Right.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot relieve yourself from the accountability. The tarbiyat has to come from your home.
Mm-hmm.
So parents have a high responsibility of thinking, if they hear your kids are ours, we are not worried about you.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
That should spark thinking in your mind
Mm.
that this is the dilemma, this is the problem is in front of us.
Mm.
Then you will stop all the nonsense in your life and you will focus on your children.
Right. We'll go back to this innovation future part. Where do you see opportunities for change and innovation in the humanitarian field? Is there anything that comes to mind? Like, how do we
Yes.
get tighter, stronger, better,
I
faster?
can give you a preview of this. So, as an example, just think about people in this part of the world. They're all technology oriented. People are using phones for everything, right? So, obviously, right now, most charities are giving you options to donate through online means. But how can we take this further? So, let me give you a preview that we are working on a technology. Let's say if Boonaa wants to, gift something to one of his or her family member in Nigeria or Pakistan or other parts of the world. How do you do it? Right now, either you send money directly through your friends, people, but then you don't track. So, for example, if we give Boonaa a technology that you add this beneficiary living in Nigeria, friend of yours or something, his son, you want to fund their education. Imagine the children get onto a platform through their ID. You send money through Humaniti. Humaniti disperse the money to this school. The school gets the fee. The student is enrolled, and you seeing the progress. The reports are coming. You being in North America, you might want to pick up the phone sometimes. Hey, Salman, what's going on with you? I see your grades are going down. Give them the motivation, not just the money. So you see their journey. So that's the aspect that donors would see as a CRM, right? I mean, the product from donation leaves from here. How your donation is impacting the donee,
Right.
the beneficiary, and what is the result? And you can show through your phone. Hey, by the way, can you see last year? This is how I dispersed my zakat. I spent $10,000, $5,000. It went to these beneficiaries. And by the way, one of my, the person I'm supporting, he just graduated from grade 12, going to college.
MashaAllah.
So all in the palm of your hand, that you're seeing the impact, showing the impact. That's how we want these new generation people to be engaged, because they're all about data analysis. They're all about, show me, can I see it? Versus uncle says, okay, give me your $1,000, assume it's gone. Assume it's delivered. Right?
It just went into a black hole. We'll
Yeah,
never
it's
see it
gone.
again.
So that's how we are thinking and trying to change the
beautiful.
game.
Yeah.
So this would be the next 10, 20, 50 years of giving pattern and giving style, inshallah.
You know, one thing I'd love to see more of, which I think is a very underutilized resource in the Muslim space, is sending our own youth, our community members, to volunteer abroad.
Yes.
You know, that's something you see some communities they do, where they actually will embed themselves in the community. They're the ones, building the wells. They're the ones, serving the food. Is there a world in which you'd see, which I'm throwing it out there as a suggestion, idea, whatever, somewhat like tourism / giving back, like people now going to these places to visit, maybe, they were going on a vacation anyways, but then while they're there, like actually contributing and doing some work. Is that something you think could even pass?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do this to some extent. I mean, we take donors with us to the field,
Yeah.
but we haven't created a youth program. I see some NGOs have done it. It's just that, again, the moment you create a program of this nature, you need to have a team focusing on that program.
Right.
Because from the ideation to the execution, there's so many moving parts. And you're taking responsibility of someone's children coming on board with you and doing a lot of activities. Could be a disastrous zone, could be a, danger zone, could be other places. So this is where, again, when you start building a team, you need pool of money, you need time in execution. And that's where, some people don't see the big picture benefit. They start thinking, oh, look at this charity, what they're doing. They're creating tourism here, but they miss the big picture. They're not creating tourism. What we're doing is we're creating a legacy. We're creating next gen leaders.
Right.
Those who would see, I mean, why the universities have co-op programs? They have co-op programs because kids can go learn financial, IT, whatever skills, so then they are more employable. So why there is no co-op in the NGO sector?
Mm.
There could be co-ops,
Yeah.
right? Not just come and learn what program is about. The co-op, we could create co-op program only to take kids to field
Mm-hmm.
where it's safe to go,
Mm-hmm.
right? So because we want to encourage them that this sector is not a neglected sector. You could think of building your career in this sector and be purposeful.
Right.
I think that's where we all need to come together and partner with some universities to attract the talent earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not the ones those who could not find jobs.
Yeah.
We
Not
land here.
not the losers. We need the
Yes.
we need the winners, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
You know, I think also this idea of social enterprise, this is going to become something I feel like is more powerful in the future. Like companies and organizations that are not just there to make money, right? But
Yeah.
they're serving a larger purpose, and they may be for profit, but at the same time, they're for benefit, right?
Yes.
Like, I definitely hope that that's something that we see more of. You know, they say that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Amazing.
Have you found this to be the case in your life? Like, do you feel as if, you know, the work you're doing is so impactful and beneficial? Does it always feel like work?
No, that's what I said. I mean, look, we spend our weekends, our long weekends, traveling or maybe working in the office or building relationships, paperwork or execution. Why you're doing it? Because you feel so purposeful, satisfactory that you're serving the humanity. One, you're pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you're seeing somebody, somebody's life is changing, whether putting food on the table or education, or we talked about many different things. So it gives you the encouragement, the fuel to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely one thing we need to learn, and I learned probably quite later in my life, is you need to do what you love doing it. Again, the risk, the money, the fame, the izzat, it all comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even I've seen people, those who have become doctors, those who have become top-notch PhD, whoever, but they're not successful in their life. They do not have the same level of money the other doctor might have. So that's the testimonial. The money and respect is all coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allahu Akbar.
So look to see what you love to do, and your parents need to support you towards that. So again, going back to one quick point, and then I'll give you mic back, and probably I'll ask few questions to you as well. Is that we're not saying that everybody should look to build their career in the NGO sector. No, obviously the sector is thin. Whoever wants to come, most welcome, come and learn. But wherever you are, your passion is to become civil engineer or doctor or whatever. The concept of giving back and be good for the humanity is never stopping you.
Right.
Your company has CSR. You may have your good heart with you. Just involve volunteerism, part-time, be a board member, learn how to be a board member, how to be an advocate, how to be an influencer. There's so many areas of things that you can participate and still feel that you're serving the humanity through this lens. You don't need to be an employee of an NGO.
No, it's a good point. And I think, also talking about this field, right? You have kind of a hybrid role, obviously, being a humanitarian, but also having somewhat of a role in media as well. Having your own show for many years through GeoTV. What do you see as the correlation between, your passions? Like talk to me a little bit about how you even got started into media, because that's like a little bit of a different world, right?
That's funny, huh? That's good. So everything, there's always a trigger point. So being on stage in front of people, talking on mic had been with me for 20, 25 years, right? I've been always doing it.
Right.
But what happened in 2017, there was an organization which I should give credit to them, Minhaj Welfare Foundation. They entered in Canada and they wanted, it was their first fundraiser. And I've been doing fundraising, if you recall, since 2012.
Right.
This is 2017. So they asked me, come, can you do the hosting and fundraising for us? I said, Bismillah, I'll do it. And in fact, they became the reason I went to Turkey, Syria in 2017. They took me there to show their projects, and then we came back. Then we did fundraising for orphan care home. So when I was doing fundraising, we raised, I think, 200K that night. So a few members of Pakistani media community, one of which Arshad Bhatti Saab of 360 TV, he was sitting there. So he asked me next day, the team who has come from UK, you know them. So I've just started in IPTV a few months ago. It's in test mode. Can you do their interview? Because you know their story and everything.
Right.
I said, okay, no problem. I'll do it. So I did this in April 3rd, 2017 in the basement, Toronto 360 TV, just in the making. So I did their interview. So then Arshad Bhai told me, why don't you consider doing a weekly show? So I said, okay, yeah, I can think about it. Then I started my weekly show, Local Perspective with Ovais Iqbal. It was all English on Toronto 360 TV. I did this for 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Again, somebody coming from the corporate sector, with the knowledge and understanding of communication, both in English, Urdu, and, to the point, purposeful, be practical. So I learned a lot, and that gave a new dimension to a lot of people in the community, and a lot of new anchors and people came out afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Some we learned from, some are learning from us. So I did about for 3-4 years at Toronto 360 TV, weekly show, did Ramzan transmission and all of it. Then I found an opportunity with Geo TV. So Geo News, Geo TV is the biggest platform of Pakistan.
Yeah.
So whatever learning I had from the local TV, and then I moved on to Geo TV. So my show was Perspective, Nukta Nazar with Ovais Iqbal
Mm-hmm.
on Geo in the North American beam. I ran for about 3+ years.
Mm.
But now lately, because of a lot of travel, I just paused it for a while, and I'm just now considering what else I might be doing, because when you open the mic and the camera, the words and thinking starts flowing
Allahu
from
Akbar.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And
Allah.
that's what I love, and that's who I want to be.
Mm. Do you find as if your role in media has helped or prepared you for your role as a humanitarian? Because I think the two kind of work hand in hand. I mean, you're
They,
obviously,
yeah,
yeah.
they work hand in hand. Humanitarian, I was already pre-media era. I was
Mm-hmm.
already being humanitarian from a number of perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are in media, that helps you, because your presence on social media also help you to amplify day in, day out.
Right.
Right? So you need to know how to tell a story. That's the crux. If anything, people, those who are watching, they want to take away from this thing is the art of storytelling.
Mm.
Right? You need to know, you need to learn how to tell your story or somebody else's story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm still learning, and I love doing it. And media and humanitarian, whatever you do as a humanitarian, if you don't show or tell the world,
Mm.
then how do you engage the people
Mm-hmm.
from awareness perspective, from fundraising perspective, right?
Right.
So as an example, I was in Pakistan in Ramzan. We were doing meal distribution in Orangi Town 5, very poor area, 1,000 people sitting, eating dinner. I saw this old man, really, really, probably he would be in his late 60s. And he had a young guy, young son with him.
Mm.
And they both had the tools on their shoulder, just like a daily wages labor. They are coming from somewhere.
Mm.
So, and then dirty clothes. They came, they sat, and I said, please, let's have iftar with us. And after iftar, I asked them this one question: did you find labor today?
Mm.
So the old guy, he said, it's been 10 days.
Wow.
Subhanallah. So he said 10 days, no daily wages.
Mm.
So let's say if I did not have the media arm or storytelling art that I'm learning, I took his story, I spoke to this old man, this young guy, and in 15 seconds they told their story. I relayed that story to the world.
Mm.
Look, that this is the situation. And that story created so much interaction, communication. So many people came forward, those who wanted to help him and people like him. So whether you have a show on a TV, or you have the guts to go out and talk about something in a nicer, proper way on social media, everybody should have that art of storytelling.
Mm.
Because you never know. I did not put any money. I did not do anything. All I did use my skills, and I took this story and present to the people and
Mm.
let people decide what they want to do. But if I was shy, and if I thought, you know what people are going to think when I talk about this guy, then this story would never come out.
Right.
So the media and humanitarian, if you have both, then you're a double hero, man.
Mm.
You're running too fast.
Yeah, mashallah. Can you give us some advice for people that want to enter either field? I mean, the field of dawah, humanitarian work, charity, whatever you want to call it. Is there an advice you'd have for somebody who's junior, who's starting off, who maybe just graduating school, wants to put their skills to the benefit of the ummah? What advice would you get to get them on the right track?
The biggest advice I give it to myself, and I will give it to others, is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Surah Yusuf. I will say in Urdu, Har ilm wale ke upar ek ilm wala hai. Every knowledgeable person has another knowledgeable person above him,
Mm.
right? So basically, you need to surround yourself with the right mentors, the right people, those who would guide you. So anybody who wants to enter in this sector, find a person who's senior, sincere, senior, knowledge of the sector. Because there are two things, whether there's a safe landing or crash landing. You want safe landing, right? If somebody gives you the wrong view or the bad view of any sector, then naturally your mind will move you away from that.
Right.
So first thing first is you need to find people, those who are more wiser than you. They have the knowledge of the sector. Reach out to them, whether it's a matter of dawah. Because even if you see somebody who is doing dawah and the moment I find out, first thing I find out is who's your ustad. And if I don't hear, the Boonaa Sahab tells me that my ustad is this person. And if Boonaa Sahab tells me, no, I don't need ustad, I'm the ustad, then I have some concerns. Even ustad needs an ustad.
Yeah.
So this is the rule of Quran. So that's where you need to learn. And you may have many different teachers. Spiritually a different one, technically a different one, home matters a different one. You could have many different teachers on you. But if you don't have a teacher, then you're not landing safely. You may have a crash landing. So that's the number one thing I would tell anybody and everybody.
Have a teacher, have someone,
Have a teacher,
mentor, a guide.
Yeah, no matter how, even at this stage, 25, 30 years into the industry, do I think that I don't need a teacher? I'll be stupid, right? So I still need a teacher in many aspects of my life. Because, for example, when I used to teach, even in Canada, I used to tell people, whatever money you make, I'll show you how to put one in front of it. So let's say you're making 70,000. If I claim that you come sit with me for 6 months, your 70,000 will become 170. Then you're thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Is he real? So Alhamdulillah, I used to have customized trainings. A lot of people know me as academic person. Some knows me from Humanitarian, some knows me from media.
Right.
When those group of people, including two of my brothers, when they saw whatever money they were making 6 months later, one was in front of that money. So they became people of yaqeen. Right? Oh my God, this is possible. Then I showed them whatever amount of money. So then I showed them how to break the ceiling of 200K. How was I able to show them? Because I had people above me that who I was seeing.
Right.
So if I surround myself with people, those who are, 60, 70, 80, $90,000 people, I have no visibility of going above 100K. No visibility of going above. Money is one aspect, the experience, the learning. So that's why you need to have the mentors, the people, those who are wiser and they are willing to share their journey and knowledge with you and do the hand holding for you. So I think that's the biggest thing that our generation is missing.
Right.
That they think they know everything.
Yeah, unfortunately. But, alhamdulillah, I feel like, the example you're setting, the innovative, halal innovative trends that we're seeing in the sector, inshallah, I hope and I pray that, inshallah, more people are able to benefit. We're able to, usher in a new generation of giving. Yeah. And I think giving purposefully is a very beautiful kind of thought process, right? Like the charity shouldn't just be in the money we're giving, but in the way we're conducting ourselves, in the way our organizations are operating, holding the Islamic values to the highest level, doing everything with ihsan. I think this is a beautiful way to think about it. And I really appreciate, mashallah, the work that you do. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to keep you on the straight path. May Allah azza wa jal continue to use you as a source of khair for millions of people around the world who are benefiting from the work that you're doing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow all of us, inshallah, to do what we love and to benefit others in the process and to put a smile on those, people who need it the most, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
The Prophet ﷺ said, even a smile is sadaqah.
Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
So can I ask now a few questions?
I was trying to wrap up.
I was looking for you.
I was trying to get out of this.
I'm sure you got enough wrap up.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say.
Tell me, do you like chicken kadai or goat kadai?
Ooh. You know what I saw there that even threw me off even more? I don't know if I saw it in the UK or in Pakistan. They have a dish.
Yeah.
They said, brother, you want chicken bona? I
Chicken
said, Subhanallah. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
They have a dish. I think it's in the UK.
Yeah.
But it's a Pakistani dish that they invented in the UK.
Okay. Chicken buna.
Chicken buna. Something like that. And I said, what? That one I like. But I love the lamb. Yeah. I love the chops. Like you guys, mashallah, the way you guys do meat. Allahu Akbar.
Subhanallah.
Grill, all that stuff. I can eat one after the other. No problem, inshallah.
So I tell my kids, I'm so thankful to be a Muslim. To be a Pakistani and to be a Memon.
Allahu Akbar.
Subhanallah. Because Muslim, obviously, we all know.
Alhamdulillah.
Pakistani, the richness of our food.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine eating any other culture food for 6 days in a row. Even
Mashed
though I do.
potatoes? You couldn't do mashed potatoes every day?
No, no, no. But Pakistani menu is so huge and big
Yeah.
that it can serve you for a month.
Allahu
Every day
Akbar.
something new,
Allahu Akbar.
right? And being a Memon, it is so good that I mean, obviously, I told you business mindset, which we should talk some other time. The entrepreneur mindset versus an employee mindset. That's the fundamental shift that we need to have in our community. So that's Memon community, but also Memons are so well connected
Yeah.
that I tell my kids, don't underestimate yourself. When you get stuck somewhere, the Memon card will get you out. Believe me.
The Memon Mafia.
Yeah. You will throw names, and somehow your grandfather or your father, somehow somebody will be connected, and you will be given a green card to go.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. You know how I know about the Memon, by the way? I know about the Memons in South Africa.
Yeah.
Very generous, very like wealthy people, mashallah, wealthy community in South Africa.
Yes.
And also you look at the history of South Africa, the way the Muslims and the brown people,
Migrated.
Indians were like migrated, but also they were, because of apartheid, they were like kind of isolated for many years, weren't able. So because of that, they built a lot of internal wealth, a lot of business between each other. So, it's beautiful to see, mashallah, a community that's able to thrive, especially under conditions like that.
Yeah. So see, mashallah, so a non-Pakistani is speaking good about Memon.
Yeah.
I served my purpose.
The Memon propaganda has reached us as well.
Memon propaganda. So let me ask you one more thing. Have you ever tasted Memon biryani?
I didn't know Memon had their own biryani.
Yeah. So maybe we leave the show with this call to action
Wow.
that I need to introduce you to.
CTA, yeah.
Memon biryani.
So what's the difference? I didn't realize Memon had their own.
The biggest difference is Memon would not eat biryani without the potatoes in it.
Wow.
So if you see a biryani with no potato,
Ah,
it must not be a Memon biryani.
really?
Yeah.
I thought they put a little coins in, a little bit of money or something.
Yeah, dollars.
A little dollar bill, they eat it with that. But mashallah, the Memon community is very well known internationally. It's one of those communities that
Alhamdulillah.
I hear about them. Literally, I knew them from South Africa. So even to hear there's a big community. Is there a big Memon community in Toronto as well, GTA?
There is a segment of Memon community, yes.
Mashallah.
Yeah, mashallah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, mashallah, may Allah continue to bless the Memon community.
I mean, thank you.
We're relying on them.
I had to serve the purpose. I'm representative of Memon community.
We're also relying on them for all of our charitable projects. So inshallah, hopefully the risk keeps coming in their ways, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, your family, your community. And may Allah bless all of you for watching to the end. Make sure you stay tuned to Muslimi. Follow us on all of our platforms, inshallah. Stay tuned for all the great work we're doing. And Jazakallah khair to our guest, Ovais. And inshallah, you can find out, how do people find out more about you online? Where do they track you down?
Ovais Iqbal. Ovais with V. O-V.
Ovais Iqbal. IG.
IQBAL, as they're seeing on the screen.
Yes, as they're seeing on the screen right now. But where are the platforms they can find you? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You're on TikTok as well? Snapchat?
No, it's Snapchat.
No. So
I cannot handle too many.
Wallah, even me, Snapchat, it's too immature for me. I can't manage it.
I was only on Facebook. Then somebody told me you gotta be on Insta, so I built the audience there.
Right.
Now, then TikTok.
Yeah.
But we have to, as I said, we have to meet our audience where they are.
Yeah.
And if I don't learn, then how do I communicate with my kids, those who are learning newer stuff?
Right.
Then we become legacy.
Yeah. And we become like the digital dinosaurs, unfortunately. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair for your time. And thank you so much for everybody watching. Make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. And inshallah, we'll see you on the next episode of the Muslimi Experience. I'm your host, Brother Boonaa Mohammed, signing off. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.